I've never been the biggest fan of the Tomb Raider video games or movies. Content-wise, I've always felt like the movies and the video games have only been a soulless revamping of Indiana Jones. And that's a real disappointment because if you think about Tomb Raider as a character, she was supposed to be at the forefront of this watershed moment that we're having with female characters in pop culture. She's a kick-ass, super intelligent archaeologist. If the Tomb Raider movies were given the love and care that they should have gotten, I firmly believe that we would have had this influx of female action heroes a lot earlier. Now, I haven't played the most recent Tomb Raider game. I've seen a lot of video game sites give it great reviews. Aesthetically, this movie resembles the most recent game. And before we get to the movie, like so many other things, it's sad that this is still an issue. But we know that Tomb Raider isn't just known for her intellect or prowess, she's also known as a sex symbol. There were a number of Twitter trolls saying that Alicia Vikander's chest was entirely too small for her to play Lara Croft. I know we become used to Angelina Jolie's physique. She is very well endowed and busty up in this area. And we've also become used to the original PlayStation depiction of Lara Croft and the triangular chesticles. Trolls are assholes, man. Like, what are you really gonna do? Trolls are a type of demon that you cannot get rid of with holy water, crucifixes, garlic. They just... Now let's get to the film. Lara's father, who was also an archaeologist, left her when she was a kid to look for the location of an ancient Japanese queen. This woman was known as the Queen of Death. He believed that her resting place holds the power to control life itself. Lost in his search, he never came back. As an adult, Lara is pushed to sign some forms which will give her control of her father's company. Before signing, she's given a Japanese puzzle her father left for her. This artifact becomes the key which propels Lara in following in her father's footsteps. Above all else, this movie displays Tomb Raider's growing pains as an action hero. Her training is far from complete. She gets hurt a lot. She's still super intelligent and resourceful, but she lacks in the physical strength department. I like that in this movie they included some sneaking, some stealth. It felt very Metal Gear Solid-esque for like 30 seconds. I wish there was more of that. Also, in true Tomb Raider fashion, there's a lot of jumping to and from things. Although most of the cool death-defying moments were already shown in the trailer. If they were kept under wraps, I feel like these moments would have been more effective. With the exception of a few submissions here and there, the action scenes felt really standard. The special effects were believable though. The raging storm that Lara encounters was well done. I love the appearance of the ancient tomb. It felt overwhelming, daunting, and terrifying at the same time. It's definitely a place I would only visit in a movie. However, the puzzles and the booby traps that Tomb Raider has to face in this movie feel sort of basic. These challenges didn't carry the baton any further than Indiana Jones or the Mummy. In fact, I think the first Mummy was a lot more ambitious in the booby trap department. I think the reveal in the end also fell short of the build-up. I don't know whether the moment wasn't impressive or whether I was just looking for something else, but it just didn't hit me like I felt it was supposed to. None of the acting in this movie was bad. I just feel that none of the performances really stood out. I do like Vikander's version of Lara Croft. She gives the character more nuance. I like this new take on the costume as well. Tomb Raider feels more jungle ready, more adventure ready, versus being volleyball ready. Walter Goggins is the villain. I wanted more from his character, especially with the impression that he gave me in Hateful Eight. I know these are two different movies entirely, where the Hateful Eight is character and conversation driven, and this movie is action adventure. I just felt the way his character was written left him underutilized as an actor. Furthermore, this movie didn't really make me feel for the characters. There were moments that were meant to be emotional, but they didn't really cut through because that connection wasn't established. It was a lot like Star Wars Rogue One, where it was a lot happening on screen, but it didn't really, I didn't feel it in my heart. Even though most know Lara Croft's origin story, I felt like a little bit more time could have been given to her childhood. The movie was like, she comes from a rich family and her dad left. The end. This movie's whole purpose was to overwrite the previous Tomb Raider films. This movie dropped some really dope nuggets from her past, and I was like, man, just give these scenes 30 more seconds, maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, like really flush these things out. This is great. I think the biggest letdown about this movie for me was that almost everything felt typical or formulaic. There was nothing about it that let me know that I was watching something different than any other action adventure film that I've ever seen before. And don't misunderstand me, there's nothing wrong with being formulaic. Almost every movie follows some type of formula. But within that formula, I think there's a way to make your movie feel different. Nonetheless, I will say this is the best Tomb Raider movie ever, and I do like the path that they're heading down. I'm giving Tomb Raider a 6.8 out of 10. What do you think about Tomb Raider? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you dig this video, like and share this video. And if you would like to help me make more videos, pledge $1 or whatever you feel to my Patreon page. This keeps me out of the Hunger Games and in front of yo face. We got more movie reviews coming your way, and we got more book reviews coming your way, and we got more of that random stuff coming your way. I'm in the bathroom.